Some of these items may be a little bit controversial. I just didn't understand what all the hype was about. This is a product that I definitely won't be using. He was not in the proper position that, is said to be the safest place for you to hold your baby. I did not like the nosefrida. Hey there friends, welcome. I hope you're having an amazing day. Today we are going to be talking about a few baby products, and specifically baby products that I have tested out and was not really a fan. So hopefully this will just be a really good resource for you if you are looking for some baby products yourself, especially if you are having your first and you're just not really sure where to start. I have a 2-year-old and Violet here is 8 months going on 9 very soon. And so, I've had the chance to test out some of these baby products, and I really didn't know what to get when I started out as well. So I figured a video like this might be helpful for you if you are trying to make some decisions about what to put on the registry, or perhaps you have several kids of your own and you just kind of want to look through and reevaluate some of the products that you've gotten and used. I do want to give a disclaimer though. These baby products are things that didn't work for me. That does not mean everybody is created the same. Babies are different, babies like different things, parents like different things. So hopefully the idea here is that you kind of have more to add to your arsenal of research and just insight into these different products for you to make this decision for yourself. Thanks, girl. I obviously am not saying for you to reject these items just because I didn't care for them myself. Hopefully the information that I'm giving you will just give you more information for you to make decisions, but check out other videos like this and just see what other parents loved and hated as well. So glad to have you along with me today, and let's jump right into the video. So I feel like some of these items may be a little bit controversial. Like there's some of these items that I'll be mentioning that I know are just raved about by some moms, but hopefully this just gives you a well-rounded view of different opinions and ideas of these baby products. So let's jump into the first product that I will not be using for future babies, and that is the boppy, or basically a nursing pillow. Now I start out with this one, but I don't want to give you the wrong idea. The boppy did help me a lot with my first. So in saying that this was a regret, I could have done without it with my first, but I have recommended it to some first-time moms, who, especially if you're just not sure about what it's gonna look like when you're nursing and you just want that extra support. Okay, my daughter is awake and talking, so hang on. So I've been waiting for her to quiet down a little bit, and it's not happening, so I've got to get this filmed before my son wakes up from his nap. So don't mind the happy sounds of my daughter in the background. She is supposed to be napping, and I had to nurse her really fast before I put her down for her nap. And so it was that, like, she was really trying to go to sleep and like sleep nurse, where she's not quite completely asleep, but she's also not 100% awake. And she decided that that was her partial nap for this afternoon. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. I'll just film this video and you will be able to hear her in the background. Hopefully that doesn't bother any of you too much. I am a channel that it talks a lot about motherhood, and this is the many realities of trying to be a mother and a YouTuber. Sometimes there's gonna be some background noise of the kiddos. Okay, so we were talking about the boppy. Like I said, this was something that I have recommended to first-time moms. As time went on, I was really becoming more minimal. I was kind of pursuing that minimalist lifestyle, and I ended up just using a pillow more than I wouldn't pull out the boppy if I needed to nurse Violet or Malachi. I would just use a pillow. So when they were both newborn, like little tiny babies, and they don't quite reach up, that boppy was really helpful because I could just wrap around, pop them on, and they were very comfortable there, and it was comfortable for me. But actually, even with Violet, I didn't really use it at all, and I was very grateful to have it when I was new to breastfeeding my son. But as time went on, it just wasn't something I used as they got older. And when Violet was born, I don't really remember using it. I definitely won't be using this as I have more kids in the future. And I would still mention it to new mothers. So if any of you are looking into the boppy, as I said, it did help, but it wasn't something that I used long term. If you're really trying to be minimal in the amount of baby items that you have around the home, maybe look into something a little bit different. Perhaps this isn't something that you would feel the need to add to your registry. So the next item on my list is the katan, and that is a wrap for your baby. Wow, she's really having fun in there. Sounds like she's having a party. The reason I chose the katan was because I was intimidated about having to completely wrap my baby without any experience. And I really wanted to be able to carry my babies on me. I really loved that idea, and it's definitely something that I have enjoyed doing and has been a lifesaver as a mother anyway, just with having things to get done around the house and productivity, and just when your baby needs a little extra love and wants to be close. Baby wearing is amazing, and I highly, highly recommend baby wearing. That being said, the katan did not serve the purpose that I hoped it would. I wore my katan for many different situations and many different places, and it was very useful to me, but it was all I had. I didn't know anything better. And then when I got pregnant with my second, I purchased a Moby wrap, and I have loved that. I took some time to practice learning the wrap and learning how to put it on so that I wasn't fumbling around when my baby was newborn. So that really helped kind of overcome those intimidations as far as having to wrap for the first time ever. And I just love it so much more because it supports the baby the way that they need to be supported and in a safe way. My main issue with the katan was that it's a knit, so naturally it's going to stretch out, and especially my son was always pretty large for his age. He was always on the heavy side, and so even when he was younger, I would carry him and he would just kind of sink down, and just after I would wear it for a certain amount of time, if I hadn't washed it very recently, he would just be way too low. And I would look back on photos and things of me wearing the katan and realize, oh, he was not in the proper position that, is said to be the safest place for you to hold your baby. So just now that I have more information, yes, it did serve its purpose. However, it didn't serve it in the best way that a wrap should, in my opinion. And I just wasn't completely happy with it, especially later down the road. I realized those things that kind of bugged me about the katan weren't normal for all baby wraps. So yes, I'm loving having a wrap that I actually have to do up. It is a ton of fabric to work with, so if you're not used to it, definitely give it some time because it may be a little bit of a learning curve. But I'm very glad that I switched. That has made a huge difference in my baby wearing and just comfort. Another thing, and I know this isn't supposed to be boasting on my Moby wrap, this is baby item regrets, but I have to just talk about my Moby while we're on the subject. It also is really good about distributing the weight evenly. The katan is supposed to do that, but because of the way you have the straps that go across your shoulders, the baby goes in there, and then you have the part that goes around the front and you kind of tie it around there. But because it's not one whole wrap, the weight tends to fall, at least for me, it really fell on my shoulders and just kind of weighed me down, so I couldn't wear it for long periods of time without my shoulders and back hurting a little bit. Versus the Moby, it's one full wrap, so the weight just distributes really well, and I really like that about it. Okay, now let's move on to something that is more, it's an older baby item. It's not for your newborn. Okay, I had to look this one up because I wasn't sure what to call it, but it's the Munchkins Fresh Food Feeder. I'm going to insert a picture here if I'm able to because it's a little bit complicated to describe, but basically there's a little spout, there's a little opening where you put in, like you could put fresh fruit like strawberries or a banana or something, and then it clips shut, and then your baby can nibble or suck on the little mesh netting. And I love the idea. Like, the idea behind it is wonderful, and What I didn't like about this one in particular was the mesh netting. I've seen some other ones that have, I guess they're made out of a different material and they're more like soft rubber feeling. My problem with that mesh fabric is just that the food got all kind of caught up in it, caught up in the plastic and the grooves and the edges, and it was hard to clean. It really didn't come clean very well. And I just kept, I used it a few times for my son, and different times I would continue using it, and I just was realizing it's just so kind of grody, and I didn't feel comfortable giving it to him no matter how hard I tried to wash it. It just wasn't coming clean. So that being said, next time I would like to purchase something like this, but I'm going to research some different types because, like I said, I really love the idea, especially for teething. If you want to put something frozen in there for them to gnaw on, very handy, they can grab it real easily. But this particular style is not one I will be reaching for again. Okay, so I actually ended up going back into Violet's room to rock her a little bit and remind her that she's there to sleep and not have a party. I think we're good now, she's asleep. So my next baby product regret, the silicone bib, I think by Parents' Choice, that I got from Walmart. And the reason that I gravitated towards this one versus the different style bibs is just because I really loved that style. I love the silicone, I love that it's easy to wash. And I had previously purchased some bibs from Malachi that just didn't last very long. So I really wanted to try this one out, and I had seen some for sale on different websites online. I was like, oh cool, they have one at Walmart that I could try out. I got what I paid for in this instance for sure. Part where you button it up, where you poke it through the little holes in the back to secure it. They broke in multiple places. The silicone just wasn't good quality. Whatever else it was made out of, it just broke very easily, just got bent too much and it would break. It wasn't as flexible as it seemed to be. I was very disappointed by that, and I kept using different holes to hold it up even though some of them were broken for a long time because I just loved the style of the bib so much. I thought it was so cute and I really appreciated how well it functioned, but the quality was poor and I was just very disappointed with this product. I purchased a silicone bib, I think from Mushy, I think is the company. I've been very happy with that one. But it is so easy just to wash these bibs out, and I really love the quality. They had a lot of beautiful colors that they offered, and I'm so glad I have this one for Violet rather than make the other bibs work that I tried with Malachi. And I still haven't gotten him a really good one. I've used some of those cheaper Walmart ones, and I do tend to go through them. They don't last as long, so do not recommend those. Definitely would recommend the one that I ended up getting for Violet. I'll have that one linked in the description below. So since we're on a Walmart rampage here, I'm going to talk about the Johnny Jump Up that we got. I don't know what the official name is, but my younger siblings had a Johnny Jump Up growing up. I think I did too, I don't remember. But I know a lot of my siblings did, and I thought it was really handy and really loved it. Just put it up, clip it above the door frame. I put one on my registry that looked like it was really, that I had heard good things about, and I didn't get it because it was a higher priced item and it wasn't those necessities. It was just something that would be fun to have, so I did not buy it for myself after the fact. But then someone gave me the one that they found at Walmart. It was a cheaper priced one, and again, this is another lesson in you get what you pay for, because there were a couple issues with it. First of all, he wasn't held inside it. Like he's supposed to be able to hold himself up, but even when he's bouncing around and stuff, his balance isn't 100%. It's not the greatest that it could be, and so he's always kind of bobbling around unless I stuffed some blankets and things. And then another issue I had, which was my main issue, the straps that were made to hold it up above the door frame that just attached to the little part that the baby goes into, were so taut, and they just were kind of a cheaper material, and when they were being held very taut, when the baby's in there, you've got that full weight down there, it's just very harsh if they hit their face or like bumped it in any way. And that was another reason I would just kind of stuff the blankets, and I was just constantly trying to keep them away from that, which when they're in a Johnny Jump Up, they're bouncing around and having fun. It ended up going to someone who, last I heard, was really loving it, so I don't want to bash on it too much, because you could get this kind and probably get some good use out of it, but just know you may have to make some modifications, and if you really want a nice one, probably have to invest some money to get a better quality Johnny Jump Up. Okay, this next one on my list of baby product regrets is probably going to be the most controversial, and I am very curious to hear other parents' thoughts on this because surely my experience was not the only one. I did not like the nosefrida. I really had a love-hate relationship with it because Violet was born around cold and flu season. I did not have this with Malachi. He was born in the spring and it wasn't really an issue. But I really needed it. Like she got really snotty and congested, and so I ended up using it a lot in the times I thought that she was just getting too stuffed up and wasn't able to breathe very well. So I needed it, right? Because I didn't have anything else. This is what I had on hand for this situation. But it was always, from the moment I got it, it just wouldn't stay together very well. So a lot of you may already be familiar with how it works, but there's several different places that it attaches, and the mouthpiece was always popping off, the tube was always popping off, and it was just, I was constantly like tightening it and trying to push it on, and you know, I don't want to have to worry about that when I'm trying to use it on my baby, and sometimes they're like moving around a lot, they don't like it. But I just was not happy with the quality. Just seemed kind of poor to me. The tube got stretched out very easily and I wasn't rough on it. I just didn't understand what all the hype was about. I get it that it helped clear them, but I feel like there could have been other products that I maybe would have researched had I known what this would have been like. I don't know, I don't get the hype around it, I really don't. And it's not something that I plan to use for future babies, and I will not give glowing reports about it to other people. It didn't work the way that I thought it would, and the quality just wasn't there. Let me know if that was your experience. Do you love it, and why? For me, I'm just gonna do more research and figure out some other products because this wasn't doing the job for me. I really relied on it because it was all I had, but I really hated it. I hated using it. I would always get so frustrated trying to use it because it was just always falling apart on me. So that is my 2 cents on the nosefrida. Like I said, let me know your thoughts as well. And I am very curious if anyone else out there disliked it as much as I did, because I feel like right now I'm the only one. So the last baby item regret on my list is the baby bath. I remember staring at my registry when I was pregnant with Malachi, my first, and just thinking, I should get a baby bath, but like, do I need a baby bath? I know some moms that just bathe their babies in the sink, and I didn't feel like I had a good sink for that. And I was like, I don't, you know, I'm not just like totally used to handling a newborn, so I probably want something to put them in. And I remembered the big plastic baths that my mom had for my siblings. I was like, I didn't really like how clunky they were. I want something a little more streamlined, something that's gonna have to be stored in the bathtub probably. I don't want it to look all clunky. So I settled on this bath, and I wasn't completely sure how it worked, but I really was just taking a stab in the dark as far as what I was going to use and like. For the future, honestly, I think I may just put a towel down at the bottom of the bath and just fill it with a little bit of water. That's worked well for Violet. I've tried that since trying to use the bath with her. And my main issue with the bath is that you have to fill up your main tub to fill this bath, because it's sort of this mesh fabric. And that seems pretty simple and easy, and the bath water stays warmer, but it's a very short period of time where they are in that little tiny newborn stage where they just lay there and they don't move around and flail. And once they get past that stage, they're in danger of going overboard into the main bathtub. It just, whenever she moved around, I'd kind of slide around, and it just wasn't practical. It really wasn't practical. It did not serve my needs the way that I thought it should. And so I just ended up getting rid of that bath, and I would put her on a towel. Like I said, I just fold a big towel and put it in the bottom of the bathtub and fill the bath with warm water and bathe her, and that worked wonderfully. And then as she got older and was able to sit upright, I would just sit her in the bath and just keep a hand on her and bathe her that way. That worked so much better. It satisfied my need to be more minimal because it gave me the excuse to get rid of another baby product. What do you think, guys? Like, what did you use for bath time? What have you loved? What have you hated? Let me know in the comments. I do want to hear from you all as far as your thoughts on these baby products. Are there any other baby products that you really hated? What would you have put on a list if you were making a baby product regret? And that's everything on my list Hopefully I won't have more to add as the years go by. It is really important just to try and find what works for you, because we are all different, and what works for one person, someone else may hate, and vice versa. So just really finding what works for you and your household and just your parenting style is really important. And so hopefully that's what this video is for you, is just a good resource of information to help you make those decisions, because there are many of those little decisions that really affect your ability to care for your child, that will make it more difficult or easier as those months pass of those little baby stages that go so quickly. Thank you all for joining me for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, you'd like to see more. I post a video weekly. You can hit the bell button if you want to be notified anytime I post a new video. I will look forward to seeing you all very soon. Bye.